Hello everyone, my name is Kerin and I live in Melbourne, Australia, and I am an author and a storyteller working in the oral tradition. And I am absolutely delighted to have been included in this beautiful anthology that's just been published, South of the Sun, Australian Fairy Tales for the 21st Century, Stories, Poetry and Illustrations for Grown-Ups from the Australian Fairy Tale Society. Now I'm going to give you a little taste of my story. I've written it in language for telling, it's not in literary language, in the hope that perhaps there are other storytellers out there like me who like to tell stories. Well, you can peel it off the page and tell it if you like. You are welcome. So, just before we begin, just to give you the background, the story takes place in the Adelaide Hills in South Australia, in the traditional lands of the Peramunk people, and it's based on the true adventures of the strong women of Hahndorf. Now, Hahndorf is one of the oldest non-English speaking settlements in Australia. So, here we go. Once there was, and once there was not, a farmer. This farmer had the good fortune to marry a fine wife who was to become a kind mutter for their two daughters, Anna and Katharina. However, in the country of their birth, the farmer and his family were not free to live the lives of their choosing, so they climbed aboard a ship and set sail for a colony on the far side of the world. After many months at sea, the farmer, Mutter, Anna and Katharina arrived at Port Misery in South Australia. With mosquitoes the size of bats, Port Misery was well named. The family had no horse or cart to carry their bundles, so they loaded their belongings onto their backs and they walked. They walked through the struggling town up into the foothills. Then they followed a track through the bush made by the Peramunk, the first peoples of the hills. Higher and higher they climbed, and as they climbed, they sang. The load is heavy, but the burden is light. The track is narrow, and the sun is bright. Fear is a stranger I've yet to meet. With courage for my partner, I've got dancing feet. They sang until they came to a place with fresh creeks, ancient river red gums, and deep, rich soil. The Peramunk called this place Bukatilla. But where were the Peramunk? That's as much as I'll give you for now. But before I switch off, I'd like to show you this absolutely gorgeous illustration by Helen Hewitt to go with my story. Hope you could see that. So thank you once again to the Australian Fairy Tale Society for making this beautiful anthology come to life.